What's up? My name is Dushan, and welcome to my first ever YouTube video on this YouTube account that I literally just made right before I press record on that little camera in front of me. The reason why I'm recording this video is, and why I will be recording these kind of videos on a day-to-day basis, is for a couple of reasons. First of all, I always wanted to build my business in public. However, there's a lot of logistical things that really go into it, like getting a videographer, getting another editor solely for that, and that takes a lot of money, the kind of money that I don't really have. And also, I don't really want to expose my lifestyle that much. I initially wanted to do that, like I wanted to make cool vlogs and I wanted to do whatever, internet kids love, which is like, exposing their, cars, watches, stuff like that, which I might do in the future on my second channel. But for this one, it's only going to be me just speaking with you guys and talking about my business and how I'm progressing towards the goal that I have, which I'll go over in a second. The second reason why I'm doing this is for accountability purposes as well. Now, I did this before on my second channel. I started a Project 100 challenge, and that is, I haven't seen that online, but that is something that I just came up with, and I made one video every single day. And within that project, I also ran a marathon because that was just something that came up to my mind, and there was a challenge that I wanted to confront earlier. But I thought for, the content's sake, even though that video has about like 15 to 20 views, it's not like super important. I still wanted to do it, and I did it just because of the sake of content and because I wanted to challenge myself in some shape or form. So that is my second reason. And the third reason, there's a lot of benefits to building in public. Now, there's a lot of things that I will not be exposing, such as who are my clients, because with some clients I'm under NDA, so I can't really talk about their names. And in that way, I can't really talk about their numbers, the amount of money that they're making with the stuff that we're actually providing. And yeah, now the business that I'm actually running is a YouTube agency that mainly provides services to infopreneurs, people that are selling mentorship, coaching, consulting, or any kind of digital products, really. And the way we do things is literally just make organic content that markets their product, flushes people down the funnel, and then they get sales from it. That's the simplest way I could put it. There's a lot more that goes into it, like ideation, packaging, editing of the videos, scripting the videos as well. And we do literally all of that. And YouTube channel management, uploading the videos, doing the SEO and all kinds of stuff. So that's really the business. As for where I'm at now and what the goal really is, with this YouTube channel and where I want to be within the next 6 months, because as of me recording this video, we have 182 days left by the end of 2026, getting into 2027. I'm currently at around like 20-ish K a month, which isn't that isn't that huge. And a lot of people would probably agree with me here. And the goal is really to get to 100K a month with the business by the end of the year. So with that being said, I will be going over some things that I'm going to do throughout these 180 days of, giving you guys daily updates, like what I really do to get to this goal, to really achieve it. So first things first, I really need to get back to doing outbound, something that I've did for not so much actually, but I did see some proof of concept. I did sign some clients through our outbound VSL system, and it did work really, really great. However, the reason why I stopped it is really because of the fulfillment. When I sign new clients, I literally just push the outbound away from me, and I don't really care about it that much, even though I do care about money, even though I do care about signing new clients and getting new people in. It was literally impossible because I just had to manage all of the work myself. Now that I have in total 4 team members on my team, it's a lot better to manage things, and I'm not super involved in fulfillment anymore. Like, I'm not editing the videos, I'm not making thumbnails myself. I am scripting the videos because that's a really high leverage activity in the business, and I get the clients a bit better, if that makes sense. I know their tone of voice, I know how they speak, I know that how they present themselves, and I know about their business as well because I do a bit of research right before we ever basically onboard them, and then I do lots of research when we actually get them in, and I know literally everything about their business because they gave me a ton of documents. Plus, I do my own due diligence. I research online, and I just explore the topic of their business until I fully get it. And I will never get it to like 100%, of course, because they're really the experts. A lot of them have 5 to 10 years of experience in their business models, and it's something that I really have to dedicate that kind of time towards in order to like fully understand it. But that's where they come in, and that's where they kind of help us work our way around it when it comes to the scripts. And that's basically it. So outbound, definitely need to do more outbound, or need to get back to the outbound, because it's proven that it works. I just need to do it actually. And the outbound kind of sucks because it's a lot of groundwork. You have to lead scrape. You have to, send a lot of like either, it's usually like for agency models now in 2026, it's usually just providing a ton of value through just like delivering free work without even like asking them for permission to deliver anything. So for example, it could be like a thumbnail, it could be a script for a client, or it could be anything that will get them on the fence of booking a call with you. And that is something that I really need to dial in. And I have made a system for like tracking purposes, for tracking leads, and for tracking my CAC. How much time am I spending on that kind of stuff? What is my hourly rate worth at currently with the amount of money that the business is bringing in? What with the with the whole profit revenue ratio, whatever bullshit. So I know what my time is really worth, and how much time or how much money am I spending while I'm working on these sort of like free deliverables. So that is one thing that I have to dial in, which is outbound. The second thing is inbound, which is thing like this. Not really like this specifically, because these daily updates really aren't made for making any money whatsoever. As I said, it's purely for documentation purposes. But again, this entire thing, like me, speaking to you guys directly on a day-to-day basis, will inevitably help me get a lot better in front of the camera. Not that I'm really like bad at it, but I think I could improve a lot. So with that being said, I will be making content alongside this as well. And I might show you guys a bit of like my scripting process, give you a bit of resources, whatever, because I know there has to be some value transaction. You're not watching these kind of videos only to watch me build my business. You want to learn something from it. So I will be talking about scripts, about content, and about all sorts of stuff. And that is the second thing, me getting in front of the camera, or getting better in front of the camera. That is what I have to do. The third thing is kind of systemize the fulfillment. I have some really simple SOPs that work. However, when I onboard more people who are going to be, doing my tasks, such as like content ops, people who will be working directly with the editors and thumbnail designers, eventually even a script writer, then the game changes entirely, because I won't be managing these people. I will be managing one person who manages the department. So that is something that I have to SOP eventually. It's not something that I'm like doing currently, because it just doesn't make complete sense. I am documenting my process of doing like all the nitty-gritty stuff, and I just have to like put that in a document. And then once I get a person in, once it makes sense to get another person on the team, then eventually I'll just, delegate it better with a proper SOP. So that is another thing. So basically, outbound, inbound, I'm doing a couple of expos a day, so 3 at most. And I've been doing that for the past 3 weeks. I've seen a bit of engagement. I've seen some impressions from those expos, even though I'm not specifically talking about YouTube in all of them. Some of them are like deeply personal. However, I do think that I have to lean more towards providing value, speaking more, towards my ICP, because I know how YouTube works. And like, I would say that every social media platform is similar in that way, where like it has, like, you have to talk to your ideal client avatar, or else you will attract a lot of people who are not your ideal clients or your dream followers, people who could eventually become your ideal clients. So I'm cognizant of that. I'm just like not doing it. And a really good system that I'm also kind of making with these kind of daily uploads is I get to take all of these transcripts from the daily uploads, stuff that I don't usually say in front of the camera, probably. I get to take these transcripts out. I get to put them in Claude and create like a bot that will be spewing out these expos without me putting extra effort of thinking what I will be gonna, or I will be posting that specific day. So that's a really cool thing about this whole thing. So yeah, I mean, that's essentially it for this video. I'm not gonna chat for any longer because it's, quite frankly, super late and I'm gonna eat something. I know a lot of people might not suggest me eating so late because my sleep is not gonna be so good, but one thing that I am dialing in is my fitness and getting my calorie intake, and I haven't really been dialed in on my calorie intake that much today. So I'm gonna eat something, get back or go to bed, and then yeah, I was gonna say go back to work, but I'm not gonna work now because I need to like detach myself from this fucking table. So yeah, that's basically it. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow. Peace.